Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome back to the Football Manager 2021 Conquering the Euro segment today. We play at home against Lille. It'll be a tough match and we've not made the best start to the league, but then we go away to Chamois Niortais. I probably completely butchered that and hope to get 3 points there, but as I said, it has not been the best start to our league season. We sit at the moment in 12th place with 7 points, but we're only 6 games in. It's not all over yet, but the fact we're already 8 points behind the leading group is a bit discouraging. Let's have a look at the games then that we've had since the last episode. You'll remember that, to be fair, we had quite a tricky run of games to start the season off. I showed you the first 2 in the last episode, and then we went and played Lyon, and this was, well, I hope that we've got rid of this sort of stupidity from last season. We had a really good start against Lyon. Brian Angulo. Brian Angulo. I keep saying Angulo. It's Angolo. Just think Angolo. Brian Angolo scored 2 goals in the first 11 minutes, made it 2-0. I thought, great, we're in here. We're going to get a good win. And then at half-time, we were 3-2 down. This has just happened so much in FM, and I do not know how to get rid of it. So frustrating, and we lost 4 goals to 2 away from home. We then drew 0-0 against Dijon, which isn't the worst result in the world. Bear in mind that they did finish 6th last year. I'm just looking, they're not in a continental competition, so they did get knocked out in the first round of the Europa Conference League. They played Aberdeen. I guess it's not the easiest game in the world, but I think we'd have beat them if we'd have played them, so that's a bit gutting. And then we played against PSG, lost 3-0. Just didn't happen for us. But then we showed that we can score goals and that we are a good side. We played against Angers and beat them convincingly by 4-0. So we've got a game against Lille today. Lille didn't have the best of seasons last time. We've got a poor record against them, and certainly recently, to be fair, they did the double over us last season. We did beat them. I think that's probably got to be one of our... Yeah, we did beat them in April of 2024. Crivelli has left the club now. That's a name from the past now. And then, obviously, we've never played against Chamois, and hopefully we'll end up getting 3 points against them. We've also done a few transfers since the last episode. The transfer window has now shut, and there's been one man who has gone out. That is Melo Ristic, our left-back, our senior left-back. His contract ran out at the end of the year. Been a decent player for us. We signed him for 2.9 million from Russia a few years ago, and Stade Rennais have paid 5 million for him. So I think that's a bit of good business. So obviously we only had Raul João to play in that position for him. So we have recruited, funny how this happens, we've recruited our old left-back and right-back, Jordan Latomba, has come back to the club. If you remember and you watch this series regularly, we only sold him last year to Lille, the club we are playing today, for £5 million. Played 19 times, they didn't do all that great, but we managed to snaffle him up for £2 million. So, effectively, he's gone out on loan for a year for £3 million, and probably, I don't quite know, but I'm guessing we might be paying less in his wages. And again, good player, 26 years of age, a good squad player. And as you can see, certainly at left-back, he can play right-back as well, so he's nice and versatile. You can see, for the moment at least, he's a good choice. Raul João and probably Marc Lloris will be good choices in the future, but we don't want too much youth in the squad. We want someone who's going to be trusted in that position. So, let's go to the team selection for today's game against Lille. It's a team that you would recognise usually. Latomba comes in at left-back as discussed, Gravelongas to right-back, because, well... And Wayo's not been too bad, but average at best. So I think we're going to stick to some of our senior players for now. I'm happy with that. The normal central midfield partnership. And again, the normal attacking three with Koeman, Dolberg and Sakaria. And Angulo up front. We've got Jack Butland on the bench. With Russo had a really poor game last time out against PSG of a 5.9. But he just sits out today's match. Probably just best that he does. We've got João Palmer, who's not quite fit, but he might be able to come on a bit later. Thomas, Deji Satona, and Terem Mofi, who are on the bench. So I'm hoping we can get 3 points against Lille today. That would be a good start for us. But I think we have to start looking now that maybe realistically we might struggle to win the league here at Nice. But at the same token, are we going to get a job that's better than Nice at the moment? Debatable. If something comes up, we might look to go if this year's not quite going as well as planned. But unless we get the sack, I think that we'll stay at Nice for the time being. Particularly if we don't get European football again this year. Within 3 years, if you can't get European football and the transfers on, I'm happy with the squad. You just have to say at some point, you have to say, well, sorry, I might not be the man to lead this club. And at some clubs, things just don't tick. ultimately. Moving on sometimes is the best thing to have happened, but we've not done too bad here at Nice, and that doesn't help us out for Florinal Coman to have got an injury early on. Potential foot injury, so we'll bring Deji Satona on to replace him. That's not going to help anything at all, is it, really? That's a bit of a bugger, but we'll carry on. We'll see how long Florinal Coman is out for, because he's one of our big players. He's actually had some transfer interest from quite a few clubs. I think there was a 25 million bid put in for him. So possibly he might go come January or the end of the season. We'll have to see. But I think we do risk sometimes selling some of our best players. And that's, I guess, is the problem. But I think we've replaced them. I'm happy again with the squad. On paper, this is a good team. But sometimes it just doesn't seem to click. Mokaina puts it to Chalobah. We haven't conceded in the first half now. That's always a good sign. Chalobah loses the ball, though. That's poor in the middle of midfield. Makengo even to Keita. Beats the goalkeeper, and I've jinxed it. We have conceded in the first half an hour. And that was all really because of Chalobah. It was all Chalobah's mistake in the middle of the park. I don't know why he didn't really do anything there. He could have gone over the top to the left. Could have played it forward to Mokaina. Again, don't really know why he did what he did there. But it's fairly 50-50. If we can get a goal back from the corner, that would just wipe away any frustration and forget that we conceded. What can Satona do from here? Satona, short pass to Fernandez. We're playing a bit too high, I think, in terms of the defensive line, I guess. But ultimately, we've got to make things work. Lovely pass, though, from Chalobah. That's what he should have done last time he lost the ball. Still, learning from his mistake. You can't criticise that. Satona puts to Mokaina. Oh, very nearly a lovely goal from 20 or 25 yards out, but not quite to be. It is a bit of a worry, though, if we lose today's game, because we do start slipping down the table. And Troost-Ekong brings it back to 1 each. Mokaina could have had 2, to be fair, but Troost-Ekong will take that from 2 yards out. Again, it's not exactly the best finish in the world. It's not the hardest finish either, but we'll take 1 each. Looks like at half-time that's going to be the most justified result. And how did I know that would happen from the throw-in? But it's okay because we get it back. Our XG is actually a little bit better than Lille, so that might suggest that 2-1 at the break wouldn't be too unfair. Sakaria on the ball. What can he do with it? Sakaria puts to Mokaina. Satona to Dolberg. Oh, Mokaina, he's liking having the shots from 20 or 25 yards out, and I won't criticise that. I don't mind that at all. Dolberg. Chalobah. Mokaina puts the ball through to Sakaria. Sakaria shoots. Maybe should have took a touch or two there. He went a little bit too quickly, but the signs look pretty good the last 15 minutes of that first half. I will say that we've been unlucky so far. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair comment to add. Any team instruction changes? I don't think so. Again, be more expressive. I'm happy to do that. Yeah, I'm happy with this at the moment. I don't see any reason for us to change. Obviously, substitution-wise, we can't make a change for a while because Satona's already come on. So we're going to leave it till about the 70th minute probably to make a change. This is probably a game that we're looking, given the XG, we're probably looking at winning this one, I would say. Sakaria is quite tight, so we are going to make an earlier change than normal. I'm going to put Dolberg on the right. He doesn't usually play on the right, but it isn't going to hurt. And we'll bring Cole Palmer on as that shadow striker. Let's see what happens, though. It looks like, really, this is a game we should be winning. So let's see if we can get a goal in the 63rd minute. Dolberg, what can he do with the ball here? He's just running himself. No real options here, to be honest. That's a bit worrying. Puts it to Satona. Satona to Angulu. And Sakaria gets a goal. Feel like I can't really change him after that. He is tired, so to be fair, I suppose we better bring him off. But we'll give it a few minutes because we'll get all that crap in the press. Well, Sakaria scored and you brought him off. Yeah, I can't deal with that rubbish. We'll go back to balanced in terms of our mentality. We'll sit back just a little bit. I think the best player to bring off now would probably actually be Dolberg. We'll bring him off for I was going to say Carl Palmer there. He was in Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Not that many of you have got a clue what I'm talking about there. Latomba to Palmer. This looks like a good win at the moment. We've been good value for our football. Angulu, I've done it again. And Mokaina, finally, he could have had a hat-trick today and he makes it 3-1. Again, a game that we might have took half an hour to wake up in, but once we did wake up, we seem to have won this one convincingly. Again, we've got 18 minutes to go, so it's not all over yet. Angolo, I just keep butchering his name. I can't get it right. It's either Angolo. Should I just call him Brian? Let's just call him Brian because we'll never get the name right. But I guess practice makes perfect, doesn't it? We've got 10 minutes to go, though, here. I think we are probably going to push Chalobah up to Mokaina's position and give Mokaina a very well-deserved break. He has been probably, what I've seen, the man of the match today. He's got an 8.2 rating. That would probably suggest he is man of the match. And it looks like, unless there's a disaster here, we should walk away with all the 3 points. If we can make it 4-1, we definitely make sure of it. But as I've said, we've sat back a bit now. We shouldn't concede 2 goals. If we do, I'll be absolutely fuming, absolutely furious. But again, we look like we're controlling this. Good ball from Latomba to Satona. Can he do anything? Oh, Brian can't quite make it 4-1, but we're looking good. We are looking good against Lille. Encouraging to see. I appreciate that Lille aren't the best team in the league, but they're certainly in the top 7 or 8, so this is good stuff, and a good 3 points to take today. 2 wins in a row. If we can get 3 wins in a row against Chamois, then it starts to bring our season to a bit of a start. We have had a very poor start, but as you can see, we sit 11th, get another 3 points in the next game, and it's not the end of the world. Good result there. As I said, it took us half an hour to wake up, which we need to rectify. But good stuff. I think we should be able to get the points against Chamois. Marseille lose, so that's a bit of a shock against Bordeaux. Angers beat Dijon. Again, that's a shock. I tell you what, Dijon have had an absolutely awful start. The only point they've got this season is out of us. Bear in mind they finished in 6th last year. They could be doing the Montpellier of this season. Very interesting. Stade Breton have had a good start, but apart from that, no massive shocks. Dijon being down there is the biggest shock. But, oh dear. Coman's out for 3 months. That's a problem. We have got this Joker transfer window which we use in France, whereby you can bring 1 player in to cover for injury. But actually, I don't think we're too bad. We can play Dolberg on the left, I suppose, and bring Cole Palmer on in the centre of attacking midfield. Yeah, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But we might look to make a replacement just to make sure. Latomba gets his own back on Lille, which is nice to see. We'll talk to Coman. We'll say his playing time won't change after his injury. And Mokaina will put our arm around him and said, yes, directness. I agree with that. Absolutely fantastic from our vice-captain. Is he our captain or vice? Yes, he's our vice-captain. Next up, we've got Chamois. And you would expect us to make it 3 wins from 3. And I guess a clean sheet would be the only thing more we'd be looking for. So hopefully this one should be 2 wins from 2. We've made some changes today just to try and rest some key personnel. So Jack Butland gets his first start for the club. We've also put some of the youngsters into the squad. So Carlos Dota starts ahead of Mokaina. We give him a rest after his brilliant performance in the last game. We've got Lucas Russo as well at centre-back. Truster Kong's picked up a bit of a niggle, so we've kept him out. We've also bought My Leader and Satona. Obviously, Satona replaces Florinel Coman, who was injured, and My Leader replaces Sakaria. Again, just all rotational purposes. And I think we gave Terra Mofi his first start of the season ahead of Brian. Terra Mofi, a funny player, very funny player. Obviously, we spent 12.5 million on him. And he's been second choice, really, to whoever's been at the club. He's been a bit unfortunate, actually, because he's been up against 2 strikers in their time, anyway, in good form. Obviously, when he joined the club, he didn't do brilliantly. We gave Deji Satona a chance, and he had a brilliant run of form. That's why Mofi was kept out of the side. And then, obviously, in the summer, because Satona's not been too brilliant, it's fair to say, since his good run, he was out for a few months of injury, and he's never really been the same player since then. So it looks like it could have just been a good run of form. It's been, obviously, the new man, Brian, that came in that's replaced him up front. So I think we ought to change Mofi, actually, from a poacher, because that's not his strongest position. We'll put him as a pressing forward. And there you can see the side in its full glory. We'll bring Dota as well. Oh, no, Dota's actually okay as a Mazzala, so we'll keep the system exactly the same as it is. Again, the big reason we've changed this is because we're playing what is perceivably a much weaker side. So you would think that even though we've rested some of our best players, we would still get a result out of Chamois here. But we've got one of our loan players actually out on loan at Chamois who's playing against us today. Sazmaz, who we bought in the summer, is out playing for Chamois today. Good save from Jack Butland. That's a good stop from him. Be nice confidence for him to get a clean sheet. This also gives us a good look at Jack Butland. If Sousa does go out with an injury, then Butland is the man we have to use. We haven't got another choice at the club, really. So, be good if Butland can get a clean sheet today. That'll give him a bit of good confidence. I'll tell you what isn't giving me confidence here. The fact we've had 61% of possession and not done a fat lot with it. This could change my perception if we get a goal here. Let's see. Chalobah. Chalobah's still on the ball. Puts the ball out to My Leader. My Leader gets dispossessed. Putting some decent pressure on, but not really enough. Gravelon. I tell you what, this isn't looking too great for us. Chamois are playing decently here, and it's gone over the top. The Charpentier. A good save from Jack Butland, but that's all that keeps them out. are we having this classic tone of taking half an hour, 37 minutes I suppose in this case? Is it going to take a goal from Chamois to wake us up? Because that's exactly what happened against Lille. As soon as they scored, we were woke up. But in this match, we've not really done anything. Carlos Dota with the free kick puts it into Chalobah. Nope, ball goes out, but do we have a second bite to the cherry? Chalobah to Lucas Russo on the edge of the box. Surely he's not going to score, I didn't think so. Fernandez to Dota. Dota back to Fernandez. Can he do anything? Whips it back out to Chalobah. Chalobah into the box for Dolberg. To my leader. Please, someone score. But Satona gets dispossessed. And it's gone out for a throw-in. Our XG's not great here. In fact, Chamois are actually got a better XG than us. Is resting some of our best players going to come back to bite us here? We have got some of them on the bench. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get a goal before half-time. And then we can breathe a bit easier then. Satona, what can he do? Satona puts it in. Nope. Latomba, second chance into Dolberg. I can't believe this. Our midfield are making chances. It's usually our defence which is the problem, not the attack. I'll tell you what, their striker, Sharp and TA, has actually had a decent game today. Jack Butland also has had a decent game. I feel like, maybe not with Hugo Sousa. With Maxime Dupe last year, no offence to Maxime, but if he would have been playing, you do wonder whether he would have been conceding that. I'm going to say we're far from pleased with what I'm seeing with the team there because, really, it's not good enough. I'm going to go on to attacking, make sure we do attack. Hopefully we get a goal. But this is, worrying. I have to say, we're not playing too great here. Maybe being a bit more urgent about it will help us. But I hope we're not going to get the classic 1.0-0 against a side that are poorer than us. They've really just come to us to get the draw, and clearly they haven't even done that because they've scored. Oh, for Christ's sake. Butland's been man of the match for us today, which, again, no offence to Butland, really just shows how shoddy we've been. I'm going to need to see some reaction pretty quickly here, or else we're going to have to look to the bench to see what we can do. Gravelon. Poor pass, really. That's shocking. Gibb puts them back in. No, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. David, that's an easier one. Cabot on the edge of the box. Surely it can't be 2-0 here. Nearly was. It nearly was. We're going to have to make some changes. It's been dreadful. We're going to bring Sakaria on for my leader. We're going to bring Angulo on for Mofi because Mofi has done bugger all today. And I think we just push some of these players up. I'm not quite ready to make that third change yet because you never know. Something stupid could happen and we could actually end up giving away, penalty, getting a red card or an injury taking place. Again, I wouldn't be surprised, but we're going to have to score 2 in the space of half an hour here. But can Angulo straight away get a goal? He can't because the Chamois defender, quite rightly, boots it out for a throw-in. Worryingly, it's us behind. It's us who kind of need to react. And it's Chamois with all the play. Can Brian do something here? He's on the wing. He's not really where he should be. But is there someone to replace him in the box? No, there's not. But he gets dispossessed anyway. Can Latomba do something? Dolberg to Satona. Satona shoots! And what a fantastic goal that is. Finally, someone has the balls to do something. It's Deji Satona who puts an absolutely fantastic strike into the corner. The goalkeeper hasn't really got a chance of doing that. But this is a funny old footballing side. We really are. I think we're a bit like Everton. We really are. We're a bit like Everton. Whereby, we can beat some of the best sides. We just are so inconsistent. It's painful. Really is. If we can get out of this with 3 points, I'd be happy. But at the same token, you would think, well, shouldn't it have been a lot easier than that? Sazmaz into the box. Good save from Jack Butler. Good save. He got the confidence to come out there. I'm happy with that. Puts it out to Satona. Satona gets dispossessed, but Brian Angulo. Satona again. Satona makes it 2-1. Get in. Is this the start of Deji Satona getting back to form? I certainly hope so, but we have inspired a bit of a comeback. Remember, Chamois only scored 10 minutes ago. And to be fair, it's been one man that's done this for us. And he's on the score sheet twice. Deji Satona has put us back in front. He's got an 8.2 rating. bear in mind, Jack Butland's been the real star of today's match for a 7.9 rating. He's done brilliantly. And now, Deji Satona might have put himself into that star rating because he has got a hat-trick. Wow. A hat-trick in the space of 15 minutes. That is not too bad at all. I don't really know how to take this. Is it A, Chamois losing their heads? Being ahead and going, woo, yay, we're 1-0 ahead, and then losing their heads? Is it B, we only seem to actually do anything in this footballing world if we concede a goal, which is the most worrying, I would say. Or C, I don't really know, but strange, very strange. Can we, though, now go and score a few? Because I would quite like to help this goal difference out. It's not brilliant, and we could do with a few goals just to bolster our goal difference here, but I guess Chamois might have something to say about it. Can they do like we've done and come back into the match? Who knows? If they get one here, you would fancy them to come back into this. I suppose it is substitution time now. We've neglected our defenders a bit, but you have to bring Carlos Dota off, really. He seems absolutely cream-crackered. We'll bring Thomas on for him. He scored a nice goal, by the way, in a previous match. I can't remember what game that was. I think it was against Angers, actually. About 20 yards out, just placed it in the bottom corner. Beautiful goal from him. Sakaria. Sakaria runs through, puts it through. Misplaced the pass. But we've got some good youngsters coming through, definitely. Thomas is one that's a second choice now. You'll notice Dota's again on the bench. We just need some of those other youngsters, the likes of Peter Andretti, maybe to be in the first side a bit more, possibly. Chalobah, Gravelon, Sakaria, Chalobah, Dolberg, Sakaria again. Sakaria for the third time, and he makes it 4-1. That should definitely be game over. We've woke up here. Again, I don't quite know how to take it. In both games that we've played today, we've gone 1-0 down, albeit you would guess from here that we're going to take 6 out of 6. But is it just luck? Is it just we've been a bit unlucky? I don't know, but we've conceded first twice, and that's a bit of a worry. But since then, we've been really good. Can we make it 5-1 here? Dolberg puts it out to Satona. Surely he can't get 4, can he? Satona 1-1 with the keeper. Goes by the side of him. And easy as you like. Deji Satona gets 4 goals today. And sometimes, when a player gets injured, a man gets his chance. If Coman wasn't injured, would we have started Deji Satona today? Probably not. Would Florinal Coman would have got 4 goals today? Probably not. He might have done, but I would guess probably not. 5-1. From being 1-0 down 35 minutes ago, it is very much panic over. But to be fair, Chamois' XG isn't all that far away from us. There's, when I just looked anyway, it was 1.82. Ours was 1.87. So, I don't think they quite deserve to have had a drubbing here. Can we make it even worse? Chalobah. Back to Jorge Fernandez. I don't think we've scored 6, have we? I don't think we have scored 6 as a Nice manager, but the problem might be at the other end here. They've got a ball through, but Jack Butland, another save. And again, another very solid save, an 8 out of 10 for Jack Butland today. I don't know if it's because we're playing against a lesser side, but I think we could do some rotation with these 2 keepers. Wouldn't do harm to Jack Butland to play against some of these lesser sides. And to be fair, he's had a fantastic match. Another man who's had a fantastic match, and unfortunately will probably steal the limelight from the keeper today, is Deji Satona. 4 goals. Absolutely unbelievable. I'd appreciate if we didn't concede here. Doesn't look like we will. But let's see. David on the ball for the wing for them. Klaus into the box. And Sharp and TA, I'm so tempted to say Carpenter, but I'm not going to. Puts it over the bar. Dolberg into the box for Satona. Puts it back in. Sakaria very nearly makes it 6, but we'll take a 5-1 victory, I think, here. Again, at this point, all it is about is the points. Ultimately, later on in the season, we can worry about why we conceded goals earlier, but we've got 3 wins out of 3 now. The bad start to the season has gone away. We've got 9 points in the last 9. Our recent form looks good, and hopefully in the next few games we can go and get a few more wins. And I'll tell you what, if we can get 5 out of 5, that would be a big boost to us. Thomas, Chalobah. Thomas again. It's all over. Full time. 5-1. I will certainly take that. Outstretched arms. Well done. It was a good win for us, albeit it was in the end. Incredible run? I don't necessarily think so. We've had 3 out of 3, but it's not that wonderful. Dijon lose again. Wow. That's shocking for them, really is. There we go. Goal glut for OGC Nice. Satona on form. 4 goals for him, pretty much the perfect performance. And hopefully he can do a bit more of that next time out. We've got Strasbourg next time out. You'd expect us to beat them. Stade Rennais and Bretois will both be tough games. So I think we'll come back in a few games' time. I think we'll do Marseille and Saint-Etienne. That seems like a good time to come back and see if we can beat some of the bigger sides. But at the end of today's episode, I know there's a few teams yet to play, but we are in 10th place. And that's not looking too bad now. We're only 3 points behind Marseille and Monaco. And that terrible start we had, you will see at the start, we were down to 16th at worst. But after today's matches, we have climbed up the table. And again, it's not quite showing that 8th match weekend, but we've climbed up the table again today. So, good episode, good progress. So if you enjoyed that, folks, make sure to leave a like down below. Comment your thoughts as well and subscribe for regular Football Manager 2021 content. Apart from that, though, that's it from me today. Thank you for your company, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye for now.